Thank you, Mr. Chairman. From day one of his administration, Joe Biden has declared an all-out war on American energy production and exploration. He has made it clear that he cares more about appeasing the radical climate change activists than protecting the millions of oil and gas workers and producers in America. I was disappointed but not surprised this July when the Biden administration filed this proposed rule entitled Fluid Mineral Leases and Leasing Process, which mandates provisions from the partisan so-called Inflation Reduction Act, which increased the royalty rate for production on federal lands while also increasing the creating new fees for domestic energy producers. This fluid mineral leasing rule is further proof that Joe Biden is using every tool in his administration to dismantle American energy production. It codifies pieces of the highly partisan so-called Inflation Reduction Act and makes major non-statutory changes to the BLM's onshore leasing program. It increases bonding levels for production on federal lands and proposes ending nationwide bonding and increasing the minimum bond amounts for individual lease bonds and statewide lease bonds from $10,000 to $150,000 and from $25,000 to $500,000 respectively. This significant increase will tie up capital that would otherwise be put back into production and is unjustifiable as there are only 37 orphaned oil and gas wells on BLM-managed lands. These increases will impact smaller producers who can't afford to operate in this market. These additional fees will ultimately harm returns and reduce revenues to state and local governments by disincentivizing development on our federal lands. The proposed rule also introduces the idea of using preference criteria to inform the BLM's selection of lands for lease sales. BLM's rationale for this change is to avoid conflict areas with, quote, sensitive cultural, wildlife, and recreation resources, end quote. This means the BLM field offices could avoid leasing in all areas with endangered or threatened species, critical habitat, and or nearby recreation areas, a move that would greatly limit leasing on federal lands. With the wars happening in the Middle East and in Europe, and with OPEC significantly lowering oil production, we can't rely on other foreign nations to control our energy supply. This is why I introduced the Restoring American Energy Dominance Act to terminate this proposed rule and to protect American energy producers. America makes the cleanest, most reliable, most affordable energy in the world. American innovation, in particular fracking, has allowed America to be the global leader in reducing emissions since the year 2000. We need to stop buying oil and gas from Russia, stop begging OPEC, Venezuela, and even Iran to produce energy for us and start producing more energy responsibly right here in America. I have always been a strong supporter of oil and gas workers, certainly in my district in Colorado, as well as across the country. I look forward to working with the committee to openly push for the increased production to unleash American energy now. We must restore America's energy security, energy independence, and pursue energy dominance. Mr. Chairman, I thank you and I yield.
Thank you very much.